a digital assistant that doesn't just set reminders, but plans your whole vacation. I mean, your dream vacation, digs up like obscure research you wouldn't believe, and even builds you a website. And all while you're, sipping your coffee, chilling out. That's the future Magnus AI is selling, at least in the tech world. Wow, they're buzzing. It's being called the first general AI agent out of China. And with a 2 million person wait list, I think people are practically banging down the doors to get access. Some are even comparing it to DeepSeek, another Chinese AI you might remember that made a splash recently. Feels a bit like a digital Sputnik moment, wouldn't you say? But before we all get swept up in the hype, let's take a deep dive into Magnus AI. Today we'll dissect the claims, the demos, and those early user reports, see if this is, a real revolution or just another shiny tech toy destined for the digital dustbin. What exactly is Magnus AI? The creators are really leaning into this whole mens et manus thing, which is Latin for mind and hand. The idea is that this AI isn't just about thinking, it's about taking action, putting those digital thoughts into real-world results.
And the things they claim it can do are, well, let's just say ambitious. They say it can screen resumes and rank candidates for HR, find the perfect real estate based on your complex criteria, and even whip up a detailed market analysis report with all the charts and graphs you could imagine. All very impressive, of course, assuming it leaves up to the hype. But hold on to your hats, folks, because it gets even wilder. They're claiming this thing can analyze stock data, write the Python code to do it, create visualizations, and then build a whole website to showcase those results. It's like the digital Swiss Army knife of AI. Building a website from scratch used to be a whole thing. Remember, Let us know in the comments if your website building experience was as effortless as Magnus makes it look. Now let's peek under the hood for a second. Technically, Magnus is what's called a multi-agent system, meaning it's not just one AI model, it's a bunch of them working together, each with its own specialty. Think of it like a team of digital specialists. Some are data whizzes, others are coding gurus, and some are design masters. They all collaborate to get the job done like a well-coordinated, hyper-efficient digital team. And this whole system is supposed to learn your preferences and adapt as it goes. A pretty neat concept, right? But as always, the question is, does it actually deliver? I'm talking about the hype, shall we? The video of Magnus building a website went viral practically instantly, racking up views faster than you can say. Artificial intelligence is fueling this whole narrative of China taking the lead in the AI race, especially with comparisons to DeepSeek popping up everywhere. Adding fuel to the fire is Magnus's performance on the GAIA benchmark, which is essentially a standardized test for AI. It measures how well it can solve real-world problems. And apparently Magnus aced it, even surpassing OpenAI's deep research, which is considered a pretty big deal in the AI world. So there's some substance to the hype, at least on paper. But before we crown Magnus the king of AI, let's inject a healthy dose of reality into this conversation. Some experts, while impressed, are urging caution, emphasizing the need for real-world testing. Beyond those carefully controlled demos. After all, we've seen dazzling AI demos before that stumbled when faced with the messiness of real-world applications. And then there are those early user reports whispering tales of glitches and inconsistencies. Apparently, Magnus can get stuck in loops repeating the same task over and over. And it seems to struggle with complex decision-making when the instructions aren't, perfectly clear. So maybe it's not quite the flawless digital genius it's made out to be. Here's another interesting tidbit. Some tech-savvy folks have been digging into Magnus's code, and there's speculation that it's not quite as revolutionary as it seems. The whispers suggest it might be a clever combination of existing AI models like Claude Sonnet and tweaked versions of Alibaba's Quinn models. Now, there's nothing wrong with building on existing technology, but it does raise questions about whether Magnus is truly a groundbreaking new AI or just a really, really good remix. What do you think? Is originality crucial in AI development? Let us know in the comments. Now let's talk about something that could really shake things up. Open Source Monica, the developer behind Magnus, has hinted that she might open source some of the models later this year. Interesting, right? Why would she do that? Well, it would let the entire AI community, dissect the technology, potentially find and fix bugs faster, and maybe even come up with cool new features or applications for Magnus. And it's already happening. There's this project on GitHub called Open Magnus where developers are trying to recreate Magnus using, open source tools. The fact that they got a basic version running so quickly just shows how much interest there is in this whole idea of autonomous AI. But could open sourcing Magnus actually lead to something even better? Could it trigger this wave of innovation that creates even more powerful and accessible AI tools for everyone? It's a tempting thought, isn't it? This potential democratization of AI. I mean, that could be a real game changer. But it's also a bit like opening Pandora's box. We have no idea what might come out. So how does Magnus stack up against the big names in AI like ChatGPT and deeper search? They're all designed to be helpful and intelligent, but they each have their own kind of quirks and limitations. One key difference is this whole agentic AI versus traditional chatbot thing. ChatGPT, for example, is fantastic at generating text, answering questions, even getting creative. But it's still fundamentally a chatbot. You give it a prompt, it gives you a response. It's reactive, waiting for your instructions. Manus, on the other hand, is supposed to be proactive. It's not just waiting for your command. It's supposed to figure out what needs to be done and just do it with minimal hand-holding. It's like the difference between a helpful assistant and a self-starting collaborator. And when you look at those GAIA benchmark results, Manus seems to be ahead in terms of handling complex, multi-step tasks that require like a deeper understanding of the problem. Of course, ChatGPT can learn and adapt, but Manus seems specifically built for that kind of autonomous problem solving. But let's not forget speed and user-friendliness. ChatGPT still has the edge there. It's generally quicker with simple queries and known for being user-friendly even for the less tech-savvy among us.
So the best AI for you really depends on what you need it for. Different AI models are like different tools in a toolbox, each with its own purpose. Manus might be your go-to for heavy-duty research or automating intricate workflows. ChatGPT might be better for brainstorming quick answers or just a digital chat. The point is the AI landscape is shifting so rapidly, and we're just starting to glimpse what these technologies can do. It's exciting, a bit unnerving, and it definitely keeps things interesting, wouldn't you say? Okay, we explored Manus AI's capabilities, the hype machine, and the potential pros and cons of open sourcing it. We've even sized it up against some of the AI heavyweights. But the big question lingers. Is Manus AI truly a revolution, or is it just another case of inflated expectations? To answer that, we need to kind of zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Remember the Gartner hype cycle, that chart that tracks the journey of emerging technologies from peak hype to disillusionment and eventually to realistic adoption? Where do you think Manus sits on that curve right now?
I'd say it's probably teetering on the edge of the peak of inflated expectations, maybe starting to slide into the trough of disillusionment. The initial buzz is fading as those early user reports of glitches and limitations surface. And as people dig deeper, they're realizing it might not be the groundbreaking, earth-shattering innovation it was initially made out to be. But that doesn't mean Manus is a failure. It just means it's going through the typical growing pains of any new technology. And let's be honest, the fact that it's generating this much debate is a sign that it's doing something right. So, we talk about AI like it's this mysterious force, but let's not forget it's ultimately created by humans. It's a reflection of our, ingenuity, our aspirations, and yeah, sometimes our flaws as well. So as we venture deeper into this AI-driven world, we need to ask ourselves some tough questions. What kind of future do we want to build with AI? What role should it play in our lives? And are we ready for a world where, machines can make decisions that impact us in really profound ways?
Manus AI, it's just one piece of a much larger puzzle, a glimpse into a future where AI becomes, more and more integrated into our daily lives. It's a future full of potential, but also potential pitfalls. And how it all unfolds, it really depends on the choices we make today. That wraps up our deep dive into Manus AI. It's been a fascinating journey, exploring the hype, the capabilities, the limitations, those broader implications of this ambitious AI agent. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. And we'd love to hear your thoughts as well. What do you think about Manus AI? Is it a game changer? A step too far? Let us know in the comments. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, keep questioning. This is The Deep Dive signing off.